I said, I will let you know before anything else.
Hey, what's up, Robbie?
What's
I got
up?
John back. It is dark on my side. It's almost as if John planned it. And all lights are on, so I don't understand why that would be.
You look exactly the same as you usually do to me, man. But, I don't know.
But
well, look at Robbie. It's always like neon blue. It's like he's in an.
He's got a light.
It's like he's in a sequence. It's like he's in Trancers.
Oh, look at that! Ooh,
special.
I can do all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh, look at that
green. Oh, leave the green one on. That's.
Ooh, look at it's changing colors now. Look at that. That's fancy. I'm gonna leave it on that.
So quick shout out.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, everybody.
Did y'all see that fancy new intro? That was great. That was awesome.
Yeah, wasn't that nice?
Yeah, did we? Is that Jay? Did you do that intro or maybe Kyle?
Oh no, man. That's all Kyle.
Yeah, I like it.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, so shout outs first. Mike Asbill, first in the house. What's going on, Mike? I am checking on that thing for you. I haven't forgotten about you. Let's see. TJ, what's up? Marcus, as always. CJ. Oh, we have something special tonight. So we have 3, I believe.
Is it Dynamite Comics in stores?
No, we have 1. We do, but we only have 1. So 3 sketch covers from CJ that are on tonight. So I think I have them at the top of the list.
Do we have Barbarucci?
No. Not for sale. I'm trying to grow the channel, not shrink it. So let's see.
Barbarucci is his finest work.
Yeah, no, not so much. Actually, I like what he did these 3. Alberto, John Stout, what's up, man? Space Case, how you doing, buddy?
I'm back. Castle was back this week.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him. I know he was going to a signing with Mark Spears was going to be at. Yeah, because I had to rush some books to him that he purchased. Mark Spears covers, and you want to make sure you had them in hand for the signing. Did I get everyone? I think I did. If I missed you, I apologize. I apologize in advance. All right. So, Robbie, how was your weekend, bud?
Oh, my weekend was interesting. It was fun. You know, Friday night, spent time with the lady. Saturday night, I went camping with the fellas. We had a great time camping, cooking hot dogs, made some s'mores. It was all fun and games until 2 in the morning when we decided to go to sleep. And it wound up 37, 38 degrees. Ooh. And I will never do that again. That was the most miserable try to sleep night of my life.
Car?
What? The car was like a mile and a half away from the campsite.
Oh no.
We did some real camping, brother. And yeah, man, I'll never do that again. If it's going to if the low's gonna drop below 60, I ain't going anymore, man. Just it's not gonna happen, man. It was so
not know in advance?
We knew it was gonna be maybe in the upper 40s, early, like lower 50s, but we didn't expect. I don't know, man. It's hubris. You know, you think you can handle something until you're in the middle of it. Then you're like, this sucks. And I will never do this again. But I slept a lot yesterday. I'll tell you that. So there you go.
No doubt.
Well, 38 is close to freezing. You know what I mean? It's one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've slept on the beach when it gets chilly. There's a fire or whatever. It's another if you're like actually in the woods, like the woods, not like the beach and there's a house, like, you know, I turn my head and there's a house, you know what I mean?
100 yards.
And you got like a giant roaring fire or whatever. When it gets cold,
it's cold.
Man, and I hadn't been camping in so long, so I went to the sporting goods store and we all got excited. We were like, man, they got sleeping bags for $10. What a deal. No, man, no.
Just spent the extra coin, man.
They will
next thermal time. Tested to below 0, you know.
If I have to sleep
$10 ain't cutting it.
If I have to sleep outside, I want my gear made by like NASA. That's how warm I want.
A $10 sleeping bag, you couldn't use that as a cover on your bed.
I know, man. A $10 sleeping bag, and it didn't even have the Gremlins or the Thundercats on it or nothing like that.
Oh, no. Hey, Becky.
Becky Bate, what's going on?
We learned our lesson. I'll tell you
It's
that.
one of
But
those
man,
things you learn.
that was the most miserable overnight of my life. Like it was like, well, there have been rougher times, like when you're in the hospital almost dying, getting ready for surgery, and that's kind of rough. But ooh, this was pretty bad, man. I don't even know how much
This was voluntary. You chose to do this.
was voluntary to a
What?
Yeah, right.
like
Yeah,
just,
you're in the hospital. You didn't choose for that to happen.
it's
Like
true.
camping
true.
at 38 degrees.
Yeah, in my
You
case,
made
I
a
kind of-
conscious choice, man.
In my case, I kind of brought it on myself, man.
Yeah, but that one, you're just walking into it, right? You're like, it'll be fine.
We would have been better off just keeping the fire going all night till the sun came out, and then took down the tent and left. Honestly,
yeah, for real, right?
As someone who slept in their car a lot, usually because he couldn't afford to pay his landlady, so he had to kind of didn't want to go home. I'll tell you right now, sleeping in your car is still freezing cold.
Yeah,
I mean, you're trying to cover yourself with like, a beach blanket or something. You have like, I used to have an old K5 Blazer, right? So I always had like a beach blanket on a thing on the roll bar. And I'll tell you right now, you'd sleep and it'd start getting cold and you'd tug that thing out. And what you thought was a thick beach blanket was like tissue thin, man. It was not sufficient to the
It's all relative, depending on your scenario, your situation. All right, so let's see. Nope, Mr. Nope, what's up? I said hi to John Stout. All right, so Robbie, what is the movie tonight?
Oh, tonight we are talking about the 1994 classic Flintstones. That's right, the Flintstones, starring John Goodman, Rick Moranis. Yeah, I hadn't seen this movie since I was a child, and I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. This is actually a really, really good movie. So
Yeah, it wasn't bad. If I remember,
I got it here on the VHS. The new technology. Yeah, the new technology there. So yeah, this should be a fun conversation. The Flintstones. Yeah.
I think you've seen the Flintstones done obviously comedically how many times, and then they did the live action movie. The Flintstones is one of these things where on the surface it's just a cartoon, right? It's just like another sort of, well, okay, it's funny. It's sort of like the honeymooners in the prehistoric age or whatever. But then you see, oh God, I can't remember the name of the author who did it. He turned the Flintstones into like a diatribe on modern society.
You're talking about Mark Russell.
Thank you. He did the same thing with like Snagglepuss or and it shows you that these properties kind of have some depth to them that works, right? Because if something is like super disposable or whatever, like it doesn't work. Nobody wastes their time with it.
So the Flintstones was based on the Honeymooners, wasn't it?
That's
based
what
on the
I
Honeymooners first animated series and at prime time, I believe, as well. And dude, what's crazy is after watching it last week, getting ready for this show tonight, I was like surprised. I was like, I bet Mark Russell was heavily influenced by this movie. Because the movie's about like corporate greed and embezzlement schemes and all that kind of stuff, like kind of over a kid's head. But there was plenty in here for adults, I thought. I actually really liked it. And it kept that original sitcom vibe of the Flintstones. The Flintstones wasn't necessarily meant for children. It was meant to be like a whole family thing where even like, the adults could enjoy it, right? That's why they were going for that sitcom kind of vibe. It has a laugh track. Before that, not a lot of animated shows, if any, had a laugh track, right? So they saw Flintstones as more sitcom than kids cartoon.
What had they tried the definition of primetime changed a little bit, but the success of Johnny Quest let them know grown-ups were watching these cartoons with their kids, not just in the room. They were watching. So as you keep going back through stuff, more and more and more, by the time you get to like the late 70s, Hanna-Barbera is creating stuff literally for your entire family. It's not just, and I get it. In the beginning, they're banging these things up. It's sort of, one's based on the Honeymooners. And I saw I think it was in 2000, they did like a retrospective for Johnny Quest. And one of the early writers had talked about the fact that he had a kid basically at the time about the age of Johnny Quest. And he thought about how he had wished he would come home and he would watch like Westerns, right? And the kid would have to go to bed because weekly TV Westerns, people got shot left, right, and center. It was,
Right.
Between the cigarette commercial and, you know what I mean, whatever, people got shot. It just didn't, you know what I mean, didn't matter. And he had wished there was something sort of he could watch with his kids. So several of the writers kind of kept that in mind a little bit. And that's why you got the original Johnny Quest wasn't quite so, I'll say, well-rounded. It's like the Adventures of a Kid. You almost barely even heard, the adults were,
right.
And they fleshed out the adult parts more so you could watch it with your kids.
So Triple B, what's up, bud? So,
do y'all remember that the early episodes of the Flintstones had like Winston cigarette commercials in them?
Yeah, like they were sponsored, or it was a whole thing.
I don't remember that. I am old enough to remember free samples being given out on the street.
Of Winston?
Of cigarettes, period.
Oh, yeah. Winston
really?
used to go to races, and for every pack of Marlboro, I remember watching smokers, go like Walking Dead on each other because they'd want to get to the infield of Dover Downs, and they would be basically saying, if you give us a pack of Marlboros, we'll give you a carton of Winston's. And as someone who was in business, I thought to myself, you're telling them that your stuff is far, far, far less valuable. They thought they were giving stuff away. And of course, as it turned out, I think Marlboro is still the most popular cigarette by like a mile. And I don't even know if Winston's are still out there.
So here's the thing. I think the thing about cigarettes is it was a different kind of marketing because you were selling something that people became addicted to. And there's something to be said about brand loyalty in the cigarette world. People tend to be very loyal to whatever brand they smoke.
Well, soldiers in World War II, Korea, even Vietnam, like the goodie truck would come, right? And you were looking to see who had your brand of cigarettes. People were trading your candy. Guys with a bag of M&Ms were looking to trade for, like a Mars bar or whatever they were looking for. Imagine you're in a battlefield. People are trying to kill you, like legitimately kill you every day.
Right.
And you're taking time out from your downtime to go find M&Ms with peanuts in them. I would say there's absolutely something to be said for brand loyalty.
Beer ads. That's true too. I watch the Flintstones every day when I came home from school or whatever. It was part of the process. It was just something you did.
Yeah, so, and that's a generational thing, because that show hit syndication, I think, in 1967. So you have generations of people that grew up on the Flintstones, thinking that it's new to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that stuff still exists, right?
That actually worked.
They still make the Flintstone vitamins.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
They still make Cocoa Pebbles and Fruity Pebbles. Like, it's
that has its
nonstop.
own kind of life, if you will. But, they mastered that. That was a live action that actually worked.
As horrible as the crowds for ECW wrestling were in Philadelphia in the 90s and early 2000s, and I was there, I was one of the lowest life forms that were in that bingo hall. Trust me. You would always, and I mean always, see someone with a Great Gazoo shirt. You know what I mean? And you're thinking this is a crowd of people that, they're handing a cheese grater to a wrestler. That
crossed over with the Jetsons, didn't it?
I want to say yes.
I feel like it did.
The Flintstones?
The Jetsons somehow never got the same. The Jetsons and Flintstones are essentially the same show.
Yeah.
Yesterday, tomorrow. But for some reason, the Jetsons, I don't think they ever sort of got that.
I see everybody out there in the chat. They're talking about the quarter pound versus the third pound burger thing. I want to say that was Hardee's that did that, but they put out the third pound burger and it didn't work because people thought that third pound burger
was less.
Yeah.
Hey, that worked for me when I used to have my little cart. That worked for me. No, I'm giving you a quarter pound of beef. I'm super glad that would have been money out of my pocket otherwise.
Dear God. All right, so last week's comments winner is Steve Vendetta.
Nice.
Because he said nice things about me, but he said it twice.
Oh, wow.
So he posted twice. So this week is quantity over quality. I was just tired this morning. All right. So he wins Nick's #1 signed by Ken Hazer. All right. So congrats, Steve. I don't think he's in the room yet, but
I was badgering one of the publishers out there to publish a comic. So if it happens, maybe I'll mention it so people can thank me now.
What?
I was telling Jim Kohoric I wanted a Transfers comic. And unfortunately, we agreed him and I were probably the only two that would read the book. So like, what's the point? They've done Transfers comics before, and they just don't sell. I don't think there's enough people that are. My guess is the cult movie fans are not going to the comic book store and seeing those because it's just like a small independent company doing or whatever. But if you've ever seen Transfers like at an 80s cult film festival or something, man, it is just.
Oh, Marcus, don't be like that, bud.
What did he say?
He's upset and he says he can't say anything nice about me, so he's not even going to try anymore. So, Marcus,
oh my God,
say something funny.
Hasn't he won something before?
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, your palm has been greased. Let somebody else get some cheddar, man. What's the matter with you?
All right, so the giveaway of the night.
Eddie has been watching this show forever, and he
He's
gets nothing but a hard time.
No, he's won.
Has he?
Yeah. All right, giveaway of the night is Vampirella 25, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. Hashtag is EXP Monday, all lowercase.
This Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing has worked for everything Dynamite does. He has done these for everything.
Yeah, he does.
Because he's a huge Turtle fan. And you think it's
Lyle, you gotta leave a comment, dude. I pick him off the comments.
Don't drag your anti-Canadian hate in here, sir.
And by the way, Lyle, Steve Vendetta is from Canada. I don't remember where, but he is.
So
there.
If you had known that previously, he wouldn't have won.
No, I knew that. So I picked him. So don't say that, Lyle.
Too funny.
So, all right. So, how you been?
I mean, I've been good. I appreciate everybody reaching out or whatever. Like I said a previous time online, I'm old. I didn't take care of myself like I should have. So, this is the backside of it. All those years where people were like, "Man, you're living the life." Well, now it's a lot of trips to the doctor. And, a lot of days where I'm like, well, I'm going to catch up on Johnny Mnemonic today because I haven't watched it.
Ooh, I haven't seen that in a long time.
That's another comic I asked for from the world of Johnny Mnemonic.
That was all right, that movie, I thought.
Johnny Mnemonic. What's cool is the VHS, I remember, had like the clear thing on his forehead so you could see the chip inside or something. That was cool.
That was an all right movie. I was surprised when I watched it.
Yeah.
It was all right.
You go through stages of these movies where you saw it originally, at least in my circle, we saw these things in the 80s, usually in theaters. There was a theater not too far from my house called Cinema Alley. It was sort of behind a mall, between two other buildings, whatever. It's the kind of place that always used to show like Rocky Horror or whatever. And you absolutely love these movies, right? And then you get to like, maybe the 2000s, and suddenly everything that's cool in the 80s wasn't cool. And you'd be like, oh God, that movie was so bad. I watched it again. It was awful. Well, then you get to your 50s and you're like, it shows up on TNT, home of the instant classics or whatever. And you're like, I'll leave it on. It's midnight. The NBA just ended. I'll leave it on. I'm wide awake. And you're like, why haven't I watched this in so long? This is great. And that's sort of like the part of my life that I'm in now. I'm here, and then I'm here again. I came from whatchamacallit to come directly here.
Where?
The Minecraft movie.
Oh, how was it?
Minecraft movie is great. People have gotten so tied up in this isn't good, that isn't good. These are the reasons I don't like it, because they're having some kind of cosplay adventure that they're Robbie with some kind of qualifications or something. And I'm like, dude, if you watch the Minecraft movie, the deal is it's supposed to entertain you for a couple hours and sell popcorn and soda and whatever. Is Minecraft going to be preserved by the American Film Institute? Probably If you want to go out with your friends and have a blast, especially if you've played Minecraft, Jack Black is in it. I'm not quite sure how much more I'm not quite sure. Jack Black was in the commercial for the first console video game, Pitfall, when he's 13 years old. And he talks about how this is sort of like, you know what I mean, edged out of, like the tail end of his career more. And now he's in Minecraft. And he loves the fact that it sort of bookends his career a little bit.
Hey, Barlord.
Hey, Barlord.
All right, so Marcus wants to know, how many times have you seen? Yes, it is in transit, Becky. So it is on the way back. I should have it in a couple days, I want to say.
Back to normal. Thank you, EVB.
It did get picked up, so I know that for a fact. I got an email this morning from Tracy. So we should get it back in, let's say, ground 3 to 5 days, okay? So as soon as it comes in, I'll get it shipped out there to whoever purchased a sketch cover from Tracy. But yeah, Marcus wanted to know, how many times you watched it?
What, Minecraft?
Yeah.
This was the second time I saw it today.
That's amazing. I was going to say 1, but you've already seen it twice.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I love Minecraft. People hate Snow White. I enjoy the story of Snow White. I enjoy anything Disney does, pretty much. The fact that so many people hate it only makes me love it more. It's the same with a Marvel movie, except for something like Morbius or Eternals. No. But, we don't like Captain America New World Order. I'm going to go see it again. That's how much I like it. I've seen that movie like 13 times, I think. I'd have to check my app and see how many times I've gone to see it.
So, John, I got a question for you real quick, boss.
Sure.
Did you happen to get one of the screenings that had the 5-minute Superman preview in front of it?
I did not, and that was sort of disappointing.
So they're not showing the trailer with every Minecraft? You'd think they would.
Either I got there late or I did not get to see the 5-minute preview. So maybe I'll try to get there super early. You know the way I walk in here and it's lights, camera, action, and we go? That's sort of what happens at the movie theater now. I'm out there talking to people, this and that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I go collect my free hot dog, my free soda, my free pretzels, whatever the thing is that day, and I walk in. And it's usually, it's dark.
Right.
I don't need to hear all the commercials. Once I see the first round of previews, like the first time I see a movie, I get there real early. Right? After that,
So, Alberto, I'm glad you got it. At the point that you paid, it almost went out at exactly the same time. So I'm surprised I got there that fast.
What I did watch today was the final last mega trailer for Thunderbolts. And this is another movie. I was already predisposed to like this movie.
Right.
Now I'm convinced this movie is going to be super entertaining. And part of me is hoping people hate it because that'll add even more to my enjoyment.
All right. So we got to take our first break. When we get back, we'll knock out the usuals, the 10-pack and the DF mystery box. And then we're going to start off with CJ's sketch covers. We got 3.
Nice.
All right. So let's go to our first break and we'll be right back.
Very cool.
Order Battle Quest comics at your local comic shop today.
Programming on the EXP is made possible by viewers like you, or your local comic shop, or that Kickstarter you backed, or the publisher you like, or comic industry professionals who want to share a message with the world. Really, anyone who wants to advertise with us can. If you're interested in seeing a product you know and love, or are creating, or are publishing, or are involved with, advertised here on The Experience, and having your message shared with our viewers, please reach out by scanning the QR code below or visiting our website and using the contact form.
Did you know that Arthur, King of the Britons in Monty Python and the Holy Grail was played by a famous Graham? Check out another famous Graham by following our Instagram.
I know you don't want to hear this, but you know.
Hey, we're back. All right, so see you,
Corey has
Corey.
to go. Oh, they're watching True Blood tonight.
All right, buddy. All right, to start. Here we go. All right, did the giveaway. All right, Dynamite 10-pack reader set. 10 random Dynamite titles, $3.99 cover price or higher. So $40 retail value, and as always, we got it for $5 to the group. Then, of course, we have the DF mystery box. 2 CGC 9.8s, 1 Virgin, 1 signed, 1 exclusive, and 10 back issues. $200 minimum value guaranteed. And we used to sell for $100, and now we've got it permanently at $85. All right, buckle up. Here we go. These are from our buddy CJ. And at some point, CJ, if you're there, probably, I don't know, how do we post his PayPal, Jay? We did before. I don't know how we do it.
Is he working on the latest one, Rob Sonia, where it's like Robbie is like, you know, a Hyrcanian?
No, he is not.
Rob Sonia,
I'm down for that idea. I'd love to see it.
All right. So first up, we got Green Lantern 80th anniversary with Green Lantern's cover sketch by our buddy CJ Design.
Nice.
And we've got it for $69 tonight.
Very nice. I mean, and this is super timely too, because I don't remember the exact release date. I don't know if an exact release date has been done yet for Lanterns, but we're going to get Guy Gardner. We're going to get John Stewart. We're going to get Hal Jordan, and there's a lot of rumors going around about some of the other sort of like better known Lantern Corps members that are probably going to be, there's, you know, appearances woven through the series. I mean, I can't imagine at some point you're not going to see Kilowog.
I love how he's got Alan Scott up there, like as if it's in the corner box. That's dope. I like that.
I like that too.
Alberto, Nick's doing fine, I guess. Why? Yeah, he's doing fine, as far as I know.
Well, like every every publisher, Nick is under, and you know we don't talk about this much, but every publisher out there is under a tremendous amount of stress and pressure with this diamond thing. So it's kind of hard to be all, you know, smiles or whatever when you're going 500 miles an hour to try to figure out, you know, how am I going to get my product? And my guess is, as things are going right now, the economy, business, whatever, my guess is there's a lot of people who own businesses that are super stressed.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
All right. So next up, we got Panther #1, cover sketch by CJ Design. This one we also have for $69.
Nice.
I was talking to a Panther creator 2 nights ago about more Panther. I was. I was asking Tom Snigowski for a Panther Vampirella mashup character called Pantherella.
That's a great idea.
And he, you know what? I mean, we joke around a lot here, but he thought so too. And so did Janine Atchison, his writing partner. They thought that was like a great idea.
They were just trying to get you off the phone.
You know what? I thought that too until I nagged him into. I picked up a hard-to-find hardback library copy of Owlboy, which is a children's story that Tom Sadowski did like 20 plus years ago.
Right.
I wound up reading it because I found a copy on a plane.
Really?
And they were like, get off the plane. It's going to be a while. So for 6 hours, I sat there waiting. And of course, because it was me, I hit the airport bar. And after about an hour of drinking, I'm like, I can't drink anymore because I got to get on a plane. So I picked up this book and I started reading it. And it was a great story. And I had a couple paperbacks here and there, whatever. I think Tom I actually brought one to a show that Tom was at up in New England, and I forgot to get him to sign it or something. He was signing like my Harris era Vampirellas at the time. I hate to go to a creator's desk and give them 70 books. I know some people do it, but you know, I try not to do that because that's the way you're getting tased and dragged out of
69 tops, right?
So I finally found one. Apparently there was a library edition. And I didn't even know that. Tom told me. There was like children's library edition. So there was a bunch on eBay. I don't do eBay anymore. I'm not bidding. If you want to sell me something, here's my American Express number. Right. Just let me know what we have to do. But this idea where I'm watching a clock and, you know, there's some kid in his basement waiting to add a penny to my bid at the last 30 seconds. I'm not doing that. Like, you know, so I finally got a copy. And we were talking about this. And I said, if you think Pantherella is a terrible idea, tell me. I said, I'm going to send you this thing to sign anyway. And of course, they started laughing. But no, Tom said he thought it was kind of a neat idea for like the next. One of my favorite things Dynamite does, and it's come back a little bit, but it was something that unfortunately poor Nick heard me nag him about constantly, was Altered States, which was essentially Dynamite's What If. And one of the Dynamite What Ifs was Vampirella as a human on a planet of vampires. And again, we talked about properties in depth.
Right.
Vampirella works everywhere.
It's true. She
works against aliens. She works in steampunk. She works everywhere. So I was like, let's mash up these two characters.
Not a bad idea. All right. So next up, we got Red Sonja, Empire of the Damned, with Red Sonja cover sketch by, again, our buddy CJ Design.
This is good work, man. I wonder what Red Sonja pose he'll pick for Rob Sonja.
I really like this Red Sonja. This one's really nice.
The headphones need to be chainmail. The headphones.
Sounds good to me, man. Let's go. See, I ain't gonna be like Rex and be like, "Oh no, please."
My license rights have not been signed away.
Yeah, just wait. Wait until you see it.
I'll be flattered.
Did Nick pose for this? DJ, this is some quality work, man. You should absolutely take a bow, man. This is
Yeah, so CJ sent pics late last week, and I thought it'd be great. We wanted to have CJ on the show. So, you know, we were willing to, but he doesn't have the setup. The cameras and stuff,
you have to have like the.
So maybe next time, maybe next time we can, you know, but show some love to CJ. Hit his Instagram up. Leave him a kind message.
And I think there's probably, CJ, you have a link there where people can like buy or bid on your stuff, right? I mean, I just kind of look at the stuff, but I'm pretty sure there's got to be like.
I don't know for certain.
He's got to have something linked where
CJ
you can click
answer.
to CJ Studios.
I think it's called CJ Design.
Is it? Oh, cool. Oh, really?
It makes sense, right? That comes together for you. All right. All right. So then we have.
Oh, and that's a little bit Inception I want.
What?
I need CJ to do a Vampirella cover that Triple B opens up on his show.
Ooh, that is nice.
That's a little bit of like, but you know, EXP Inception.
That's synergy right there.
Right?
All right. Powerpuff Girls. That just will not go away.
Oh no! Hey, look at it this way. At least the Powerpuff Girls things replaced the Copper Tone Squirrel thing.
All right. So Steve, don't make me retract my decision on giving you the comments gift.
Oh wait, is it a good comic? Because then I'll just take it.
It's Nick's #1, signed by Ken Hazer.
I would love the idea if CJ did the Powerpuff Girls as the three of us. That would be cool. By the way, CJ, if you do that, Rex has got to be Blossom. I'm Buttercup, and John for sure is Bubbles. So
Bubble. Oh yeah.
Oh dear God. Oh my God. Bad idea. Show's over.
Good night, everybody. Jay hit the.
All right. So now we got
we
one.
have a signal for Jay to just unplug the show. Like we got to give him a sign. Like if I touch the side of my face, to just. We're experiencing technical difficulties.
All right. So now this is a nice one. Connecting Covers, Space Ghost. All right, by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza.
Oh, this is cool. This is very like.
So this happens to be a collage.
It's very coast to coast, man.
It's just a retail of $199.99, and we have it tonight for $99 for both covers, and they connect.
I like this a lot. Steve, for all the promotion you've given them.
For real, right? All right. So I don't see Big John Spilios in the house. So unfortunate, but it is what it is. Because tonight we have a Punisher cover sketch by Dan Neilinger and Mariano Nicieza.
Oh.
So this really
is another collage thing, right?
Yeah. So really, other than CJ's, this is pretty much everybody else working with Mariano.
Was he in today? Did he leave early?
No, he did not. He was not. He's still sick, so he's been working from home.
He just leaves stuff that I like on his desk.
Dude, he leaves everything at his desk. I mean, what are you going to do?
Jeff was not feeling well this week, so I guess he wasn't in Mazda earlier in the week. Last week. He posted, and this really cracked me up. He posted that there was going to be some things for sale on eBay or whatever. There was only 10 of them, blah, blah, blah. And so I said to him, I said, eBay? He's got my copy off your desk. Dude, if you call out sick, everything's up for grabs that's on your desk. He got a laugh out of it, too. And a couple of people, I guess, who didn't know were like, like they had the face like I literally broke in and stole the comics. I'm like, oh, I don't have to break in. Just knock on the door and they
just
let
walk
me
in. Yeah, we let you in. All right. So next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man Blood Hunt with Spidey cover sketch, Carousel. Says retail of $149.99.
Like this.
And
I
we
like
have
the
this,
red and black color. Oh boy.
And we have this one for $65.
I love this unique stuff, man. I know I've been a comic book fan a long time, and I've seen, like I said,
that's why you like all the stuff on Mariano's desk.
I do like all the stuff on Mariano's desk. Him and I talk about Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea all the time. I said, why don't you indicate to your friend?
I like that show.
I said, why don't you indicate to your friend that Dynamite would be the perfect publisher to do Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea?
All right. So last one is Batman Black and White with Batman cover sketch. I believe this is also a collage of sorts by Tony Scott and Mariano Nicieza.
Yo, I love this one. Those colors on this Batman. Yeah. First of all, that sleek, cool pose by Scott. Batman looks like he's got no care in the world. And then those colors, man, makes me want to go skating in 1992.
In my day, we call that a pimp lean. I don't know if they call it that anymore. But the thing I think is super cool and ironic here is, like Robbie said, the colors here are so strong. And he did that on a Batman Black and White cover.
All right. So suggested retail of $149.99, and we have for $65 tonight. All right.
Yeah.
So let's do a quick Rex cap before our next break.
Oh, 6:45 already.
Yeah, I know it's getting there, isn't it? All right. So the giveaway, if you just joined us, is Vampirella number 25, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. Hashtag is John, which one you claiming, buddy? Gotcha.
Oh, that Batman, that is sweet. When I walked in, I was sort of like, oh, the irony of it hit me because I looked at it, I saw Batman black and white, and then like as your eyes go down, it's like maybe one of some of the strongest coloring we've seen on these covers.
All right. So next up, we have the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, $3.99 cover price or higher, total retail value of $40, and as always, we have for $5 for the group. Then, of course, we have the DF mystery box, 2 CGC 9.8s, 1 Virgin, 1 Sign, 1 exclusive, and 10 back issues. $200 retail value guaranteed, and we have for $85. All right. Then, of course, the sketch covers by our buddy CJ Design. Green Lantern 80th anniversary with Green Lanterns cover sketch by CJ. And we have this for $69.
Yeah, CJ, this one's kind of close to my heart with Green Lantern. I like this quite a bit.
Then we have Panther #1 cover sketch by CJ as well. And we have this one for $69. All right. And then
Panther is a character that it's difficult to give distinction to, right? Because on the surface, it's kind of like another Jungle Girl in a bikini. And there's literally a character called Jungle Girl, plus a whole bunch of other characters. You know, Sheena of the Jungle. And it's always usually a girl, a bikini.
All right. So repricing. So CJ and I had some confusion. I didn't know if he wanted to. We said 69 at first, but I didn't know if he wanted to make it the same as our retail. So we are making all of CJ's now 65 as well.
You see, the problem, Rex, is you didn't say it right. When you say the price is 69, you're supposed to say the price is 69, dudes.
Nice.
That's what you're supposed to do. Station.
But CJ did a nice job here of adding some distinction in making Panther not just another girl running around in the jungle. And I'll tell you, some of the last couple of creators who worked on Panther, really smart. They infused her with some Leaf Falk Phantom energy. Right. You know, with like a secret society, in deepest, darkest Africa, as it was called in the comic strips in the 1930s and 40s.
All right. Then we have Red Sonja, Empire of the Damned, with the Red Sonja cover sketch by CJ. And this was 69. Now it's 65. Now that we've cleared that up.
And Red Sonja here is a nice balance between looking like a soldier and not like a bodybuilder. Too many times they try to make Red Sonja either look like a bodybuilder, her arms wouldn't be able to have any range of motion for the sword, or they make her look like, like a pinup from like 1990s Elemental comics. And the problem with that is her arms are too skinny and her legs are far too long. It's almost like if one of the cloners of El Camino were trying to swing a sword. Like it just wouldn't work. This is a nice job here, CJ.
All right, so then we have Space Ghost #1 connecting cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $199.99, and we have this for $99 tonight.
I might put this in front of the camera because this image kind of makes it look a little bit compressed, and it's not, when you see them like in person, it's, you get like a little bit more of a nicer effect, and I think this is very cool.
All right. So then we have Punisher cover sketch by Dan Neilinger and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $149.99, and we have it for $65. And then we have Amazing Spider-Man Blood Hunt with Spidey cover sketch, Saracel. Suggested retail of $149.99, and we have this one for $65.
Do we have a picture of the inside?
No.
Maybe we'll have to crack that one open and put that up there too, because I just love the fact that this cover is essentially the mask, the red, the black. You know what I mean? This almost looks like if he's from Spider-Man's mask in mine. in Minecraft.
All right.
It's square.
All right. We're going to go to our second break. Hang out. We'll be right back. Take us a break, Jay, if you would.
Symphonic verses, Nocturne's romance. A song of romanticized darkness, dreaming death by sleep.
FOC, a comic industry term for the final day a new comic can be ordered by a local comic shop. So, what does that mean to you? Well, it's your last chance to order a new comic book from your local comic shop. Order up! The FOC show will go over every book that's about to be cut off every Friday afternoon.
I'm going to highlight some of the stuff that I think is really worth paying attention to,
so that you can put in an order at your LCS for as many copies or as many variant covers as you want.
Sometimes the store needs to know to up their orders.
Never miss out on a popular comic again. Order up, part of the experience.
Download our app on Google Play and the App Store. It's so simple, even my mommy can use it. In a world where you hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, that'd be really great. Thanks.
We're back, Rex.
Hey. No break, dude. No warning of any kind. All right, so John is out wandering around trying to convince various employees of the company to do his bidding. Shocker.
Well, I wish him luck with that.
Yeah, it actually works better than what I try to do here. So I just noticed that, so I got the new TV, right? So it is a Roku TV. There is tons of shows and channels I can get through the antenna. I'm amazed. They're just available.
Yeah.
Miramax, apparently. I can watch movies on their channel. I found the $6 Million Man. So I was watching that this weekend. That was cool.
Are these channels on the Roku, like that they have? Like,
yes,
see those shows all the time?
Channel guide. You know, when I go to live TV, it's there.
Yeah, the same thing's on my Samsung, right? So, like, you know, we got a channel for this, a channel for that. Yeah, that's super cool, right? Who needs cable? Just buy a new TV.
I really open things up.
Yeah,
I may actually cancel Peacock now. There's one. Yeah, Miramax is pretty cool. So they have a Star Trek marathon going on. So they have the original cast, they have the new cast, obviously, and then they have the next gen set of movies. So that's been pretty cool. They had the Mission Impossible series on. So that's been, you know, some of them are not so good. Some of them are pretty good. So I've been watching that. I'm trying to think what else. Bionic Woman. It's just like I found on one of the channels. I can't remember which one. TJ, let's see. All right. So what is TJ? We are jumping around today.
Hey, Rex, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it.
I'm like, where did we start talking about that? And I missed it because it is possible. I miss things on show all the time, as we know.
Yeah, there was a lot of inappropriate conversation going on in the chat, so just don't worry about it.
All right. So Jay is telling me not to worry about it, so I won't. So I don't know, Mike Asbell, I don't know if I'm getting it through the internet or the antenna.
It should be through the internet. It comes with the Roku, right? Like, you get a Roku TV, they have their own kind of channels.
Yeah. There is an option that says antenna, and it only gives me like, your normal local channels, which is essentially what I've been watching. When I was scrolling through, I discovered this channel guide, and it says live TV, and it gave me all these options.
Is that on Amazon Prime?
John, Rex just figured out that when you buy a smart TV, like each company kind of has their own streaming channels. What we've been talking about, with the Samsung Plus, right?
No,
Rex has just discovered that on his Roku TV.
Late to the party, I guess.
Okay, Rick,
I was trying to do something else, and I kept flipping the remote, and I go, "What the hell is this?" Then I clicked on the one, expecting them to be a paywall, and I'm like, "There's no paywall.
There's no paywall."
What the hell is this?
Jay, I'm not giving Rex a hard time. I'm just saying, like, it's because Rex hasn't bought a new TV in probably 25 years, right?
He's getting closer to joining the future.
I had to say, you're probably a little
still
closer
a console?
on.
Is it a big wooden thing on the ground?
No,
like
it is a flat screen, but it's one of the oldest ones you could get. It was made by a company called Insignia.
Oh, I remember that.
And it was a
that
gift.
Panasonic or something?
I don't know.
That's like
it was a gift from my former in-laws, and it was 30 inches, literally. And
it's the size of a gaming monitor. Robbie has.
Why would I buy, a new TV? It worked and it worked and it worked until it didn't. Okay. And here's the thing. So for the cat at home, I was known to leave the TV on. I didn't want to get lonely. His brother died. Both his brothers died. So my daughter moved out. So I didn't want to get lonely. So the
Thank
TV,
you,
Best Buy. That makes sense.
Best Buy. I was trying to remember where that came from.
So my power went out one day. I get home and I turn the TV on. The picture comes on, but no sound. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Did you have the speakers hooked up?
No, the sound died, right?
Okay.
So then that first night, I go, crap, I'm going to have to buy another TV, right? Then all of a sudden, after about 2 hours, the sound came back on. I'm like, cool. And since I leave the TV on when I leave the house for the cat, it just stayed on. Okay. Then one day I'm at home. It's really late. I probably doing a show, got home, just really tired. And I accidentally hit the power button. I know. And I'm like, oh no. So I turn back on. Sound is gone. So I wait a couple hours. Sound is still gone. Then I wait a couple days. Sound is not coming back. So I'm watching. I'm streaming on my laptop. Okay. Hoping the sound will come back on. Never did. So at that point, I figure, all right, I what can I do? So, buddy of mine from softball.
That's what I was thinking. You could have the TV repairman come and fix it for $500, or you could just go online and buy another one for $400. And it'll be in your
Marcus,
front door.
I got you a better one than that. Better deal than that. So, buddy of mine from softball found this place called Nellis Auctions. Okay. And what they do is they auction off Amazon returns. So you can get all kinds of stuff, TVs, water fountains. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
What's it called?
Nellis. You have to pick up locally. I don't know if they're in every part of the country, but there is one where you can pick up not too far from here. So I found the TV, 55-inch.
Oh, that's
okay. Roku TV. Go ahead, take a guess how much it was.
$80.
Close. 95.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, it's starting to get to a point where it's not such a great deal anymore because people are starting to figure it out.
Well, there's a math that's like the Too Good to Go app. It was great in the beginning, and now nobody can get anything.
Yeah.
Because everybody's waiting till midnight to, declare for the next morning. But there's a brisk business in Amazon returns.
So
these things always kind of pop up on Instagram
Marcus,
or whatever.
So it was opened, and whoever put it back together again. So it had everything, including the batteries to the remote. But the top was sealed by like duct tape. All right, so I knew it had been open. But what's great about Nellis is if it doesn't work, you have a money back guarantee. All right, because I had a 50-inch, and then there's some confusion, and when I went to pick it up, it wasn't there.
Oh,
they didn't have it. So they said, no problem, we'll refund your money. And I was a little disappointed. And then this 55 came up, and it was the same price that I paid for the 50. Got my money back and got a 55.
Oh, nice. That's
so I can't really complain. I had to wait another like 3 or 4 days.
Unfortunately, now most of the smart TVs, I bought one a couple of years ago. I'm starting to look for another one. I really kind of want. The truth is, I want a 100-inch picture, but I don't want to have to redo my living room to set up the digital projector for a 100-inch picture, right?
So
you got to paint the wall with this sort of thing.
I got to forward you the site. Nellis Auction. The pickup location is Del Ran.
Oh yeah, shoot me.
It's super close. So
all the smart TVs now absolutely require a sound bar. The speakers that they are putting in smart TVs the last few years, they're just not that great. And I very much want, movie theater surround sound type stuff. So now the last couple of smart TVs I've had, I've got the sound bar.
So I got to tell you,
and that's another
first movie after setting the TV up, which was far simpler than the first flat screen TV I had. What do you think I watched? Because the screen, I came from 30-inch to a 55. No.
Dune.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Robbie knows me.
Dune.
And I got to tell you, it was awesome on the big screen. I'm like, damn, this is good.
Imagine it in a movie theater, Rex.
Well, the way my living room, my family room is set up is pretty much like that. So it's been kind of weird. It's been kind of nice. I should have bumped up to the larger size, but I didn't really feel the need. The TV, it worked. It was big enough for me.
And then you get the new TV, and now you're like, man, life could have been this great this whole time. I feel the same way when I get a new phone. I don't upgrade my phone except for once every when it breaks. That's when I get a new phone. And every time I get a new phone, I'm like, wow, this is so easy. And everybody's like, yeah, dude, it's been like that for 5 years. You just haven't upgraded.
We were a generation that grew up with Viewmaster, so anything more than 24.
Robbie was very close. So they gave me that TV. My daughter was 7, maybe 8. She turned 25 this year. So that TV was old.
Oh boy.
I just don't buy new things if I don't need it.
This TV right here is almost 20 years old at this point. So yeah, I keep them, man. I got an older TV in my bedroom, and then the TV I have in my living room is the 55 4K.
I was going to say, is this the TV that PCP movies get watched on?
This is the one that I watch my VHS on now. So this is solely my VHS TV. And
actually, to be honest, the picture quality on VHS is probably not real good. So you blow it up to 55, it's going to look even worse.
Oh yeah, I initially hooked my VCR up in there, and on the 4K it looks terrible. So at least on this older HD TV, it looks a little bit better. But I have a CRT I got to get from
screen. Your VHS was really made for that size, 30, 35 maybe.
Yeah, 100%.
You're thinking of the Give a Show projector, which is, I'm sorry to interrupt, Robbie. I just saw CJ ask. You're thinking of the Give a Show projector. I had that before I had the Viewmaster. I used to love that. The Give a Show projector was basically a housing with a cop's flashlight. The real movement here was they had kind of like
Right.
for the 1960s and 70s, it was a revolutionary kind of magnifying thing. And it was probably, like a piece of construction paper, oak tag paper was your screen. And instead of, how Viewmaster was round, these were strips. And you could literally do your thing and watch a Flintstones adventure and watch whatever. And they were popular for several years. And then Viewmaster came out and they were done.
All right.
Because Viewmaster, all you needed was the sun.
Marcus mentioned the new laptop. I got to say something. It could be, and I got to tell the truth. It may be that the Comcasting wasn't Comcast's fault. It may have been the laptop. So the old laptop.
We're still blaming Comcast.
I just want to say I said that like 2 years ago.
No, we're still blaming Comcast. I'm with Rex.
Thank you, Jay.
No, Robbie, I remember Robbie saying, hey,
Robbie,
man.
you're dead to me.
I very specifically remember many times being like, maybe it's the hardware.
Maybe your Texas Instruments laptop has seen the better
What's
days.
your point? What's your point?
Got a graphing calculator you're using, man?
My Timex Sinclair works just fine.
So I got to tell you, it is so much nicer. The screen on this one is bigger, so I can see a little bit better. And they put in a mouse for me, which makes things so much easier.
Xfinity's on the phone. They would like a word.
Yeah, they would like an apology.
Still won't get them. Because years ago, when I had that cable issue with the cable box, I switched it out like 5 times, and they lied to me. I get on the phone and they say, "Yeah, go to the store. They'll give you a new one." She hands me one. I go, "This is not new." I said, "I can see the gouge in the back of it," and she goes, "Oh, we don't have new ones." I said, "What?" The woman on the phone told me I'd get a new one if I came here. She's like, "No, we don't have any new ones."
Yes, he's that Rex Wang. Something about a box. Yes, he's slandering you again on global media.
Damn right.
Hold on. They'd like to talk to you.
You still owe me money.
No.
Yeah, I remember my last conversation, because my internet had been out for so long. I said, "You guys need to refund me money." The conversation ended with some guy in customer service who would not give up $25 more. And I got so pissed. I'm like, you know what? Come get your crap. I'm done with you guys. Okay. And he's like, "Sir, you still have to pay this." I said, "Sue me." So it has since come off my credit report. I refuse to pay him.
In the dawn of the internet, we had like some internet service provider, and we had them for a few months, and they were giving me like a hard time for $7. I said, "Look, dude, like months later, I'm getting bills. Eventually I get a thing from collections. I'm like, it's $7. I called the collection people. They're like, "It's the system, man. We would never send you a letter for $7. It's literally not worth our time. But do you want to pay these people?" And I said, "Well, they sold you the debt, right? So now they only get $3.50 because most collection agencies take half." I said, "Do you have an address where I can put 350 pennies in a box and UPS it to them?" And she's like, "I'm just going to delete this." She just did not want to deal with me. I said, "Hey, look, if you want to, I see you're in Point Pleasant. I can bring this to you." She's like, no, sir.
Don't come here.
Don't come here.
Please don't.
Rex did draw a line in the sand. However, Xfinity has been slandered, maligned.
They deserve it. Okay. I remember the guy, remember when they used to send people reps door to door?
Oh, yeah. Well, there used to be a time where you had to wait, and probably my favorite Jim Carrey movie. Well, that's not true. My favorite Jim Carrey movie is The Mask. But Cable Guy.
Oh, yeah.
You would wait for the Cable Guy. And I understand there are some parts of the country they still have to wait for cable guys because they're super rural or they're in the mountains or something. You know what I mean? So somebody actually has to come and hook that stuff up.
So yeah, that's how my relationship with Comcast ended. So I was one of the first. I found cell phone internet. There used to be a company based out of Philly called Clear.
Yep.
And then they went out of business, so I had to find someone else. So I found
Robbie.
I found a company that does rural internet, and I had to buy this thing, and it was really weird. And the next thing you know, who was it? Well, Verizon has it now, but I have T-Mobile. So all of a sudden, it started to become a regular thing, internet through your cell phone. So
you're right, Eddie. Comcast strikes back. Robbie's gone. Good job, man.
He's a big boy. He'll deal with it.
Robbie was caught in the crossfire, man. It was friendly fire.
Yeah. Can't do it to me anymore. New laptop. Poor Robbie.
I wouldn't want Xfinity to shut me off, but I've got like the Verizon thing.
See, I wonder if Robbie's going to blame the laptop now.
Robbie needs a new laptop. That's great.
Ooh, that's a good one, Jay. Thank you.
Well, I mean,
as soon as he's back,
with
we'll
the
ask
massive
him.
budget PCP has, they probably have computer sponsors or whatever.
Ooh, Preston, Philco. I remember those. My mom had a Zenith, big one. One of those console models. The screen was probably still about 30 inches or smaller, but we had gotten robbed, and my mom was convinced that she's going to buy a TV so damn heavy, okay, that you may rob us, but you're going to break your back trying to get this bad boy out of here.
When I was a kid, we had a TV, and it had a reel-to-reel player in it, because my dad loves reel-to-reel. And it had a bar in it. And I don't mean like a little cabinet with like a liquor bottle. It had like a dozen cut glass tumblers and decanters of whiskey and gin.
Wow.
And this thing, being a little kid, I would have told you it was a 60-inch television. The reality is it was maybe 32 inches, maybe.
So, y'all, Robbie's power went out is what happened.
Whoa. Wow, I didn't know Comcast could do that. Well, shut off the entire grid.
We might as well just end the show here because nobody's here for watching us.
Speak for yourself. All right,
Robbie. Hopefully, it's just like I hope it's not like weather related. Is he in the path of storms?
I don't know. He didn't say anything about it. All right, so hopefully he comes back on, and he'll be back because he has to do the PCP movie night. So it's weird. Oh yeah, because you know what? Those big console TVs, it was mostly empty inside. Although the wood was very heavy.
Well, I watched a video one day of a, whatchamacallit, I think he's in Alabama, unknown.
Yeah, he's in Alabama. I think near Mobile.
I watched someone kind of retrofit. Essentially, they found one of these at a vintage auction or whatever. Of course, the tube, cathode ray tube, all that stuff had to come out, right?
Right.
And the guy wanted to put in like a flat screen.
Right.
And I think he had a 32-inch flat screen he put in. It was just about right. And he said, I cannot believe how, like, this isn't particle board. This is walnut.
Yeah, the wood was real.
This is walnut. And he got two small speakers, and he put them in where the speakers were or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he said, it's great. He's got like a little blast from the pass-through.
Yeah, it was not particle board. I remember that thing was so heavy.
Those things were so, well, that was why I think a lot of people were like, if you're stealing this TV, it took 3 people to bring it up. And bring it from the truck into my house. So, you know, if you were picking that up, good luck.
Yeah, that was heavy. All right. So, back issues of the night. Here we go. So, first up, we've got Secret War #1, the 5-part series.
There we go.
It is an 8.5, and we have this one for 15.
Cover.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, a little line art, like, oh, I love these.
I know you like that.
I do. I love.
You really like the black and white.
I really do like the black and white stuff.
All right, then you'll love this one. Spawn number 316 is a 9.4. And we have this one for 15.
Yeah, this is just, don't get me wrong, coloring, artists, whatever that stuff, because that's all great. But
yeah, but this is your thing.
Yeah, I really, well, for a lot of Dynamite comics, you will see that I have two kinds of Dynamite comic variants. Either they're black and white or line art, or they're cosplay covers. The truth of the matter is, a friend of mine, we were talking, I have very few actually of like newsstand covers.
I thought you were going to say paid or unpaid, and we know you don't have any paid ones.
No, but I mean, sometimes I'll see a Dynamite cover here and I'm like, oh, that's what the actual cover looked like. Not like a Joseph Michael Linsner, like red line art cover or something. You know what I mean?
So real fast before we get to the next one, just for Ed, I went ahead and pulled the actual cover so he can see what it looks like.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Oh, I always forget about that. Black and white cover, all Eddie sees is like a blank or whatever. I don't know how that works.
All right. So then we have
Thank you, Jay. Yeah, that cover is just, and I always tell people who think I'm bashing on color. Oh, absolutely not. The color adds like so much other dimension or whatever. You know what I mean? I totally understand why color comics are like a zillion times more popular than black and white.
All right. Next up, we have ROM number 1. It is a 7.0 to a 7.5.
Is this like an original? This isn't like a...
No, it's original.
Okay.
And we have this for 15.
It's actually a good price for this. I've seen people... One of the guys I followed on Twitter for years and years and years, he's a comics guy, but he's known... He was the first guy I met that Rom Space Knight was his favorite comic character, like way back at the dawn of Twitter. And he's become and he probably has 15, 16, 17 different grades of copies.
All right.
This one's really nice.
Next up, we have Man-Thing number 1.
You're absolutely right, TJ.
It's a 9.0, and we have this one for 25.
Mariano was not surprised at all. The back seats of my BMW fold out for more storage. He was laughing one day. He came in from a break or something, and we had went out to hit some golf balls. And he saw my seats down, so when I opened the trunk to get a bottle of water, you could see straight clear through the car.
All right. So then we have...
Oh, cool, Eddie. I mean, I'm glad that Jay pulled the image, though, so you could see that.
All right. Then we have Hawkeye versus Deadpool. It is 9.2. And we have this one for 20. All right. And then we have Spawn number 327. It's 9.6. And we have this one for 20 as well.
Is it an homage when Todd just basically redoes his own thing?
That's a good question.
I mean, essentially, that's Todd's cover from Spider-Man, right? So if he decides to put Spawn in there, you know, is it still an homage or is it just, you know?
I don't know.
I'll have to ask Robbie when he comes back.
All right.
What's the PCP ruling on this?
So then we got Spider-Man number 1. It's a 9.4. And we have this one for 25.
I still think back to all the people who trashed Miles Morales when he first appeared. And that has to be more than 20 years ago. And I'm like, are you guys still sitting at home mad? I think it's probably been close to 20 years because we're in 2025, right?
Hmm.
Ultimate Spider-Man Bendis started that in 2000. And when did Peter Parker die? He died at the end of the first Ultimates universe. They ended with like a cataclysm. I don't know, like Magneto pulled the magnetosphere off the planet and, you know, it was floods or whatever. And in one of these cataclysms, New York was underwater. Spider-Man didn't make it. Very shortly thereafter, we got Miles Morales.
Right.
So probably close to 20 years. For sure 15, I would think.
All right. Next up, we got, because Thundercats number 14 releases this Wednesday. I brought back
Thank
Thundercats
you,
number
Alberto.
1,
August
the
2011.
Marvel edition. It
Oh,
is
from
a
Star
6.5.
Comics. Very cool.
It's 6.5, a newsstand edition, and we have this one for 50.
These Star Comics editions are going to be hoarded. This is like a great chance to sort of, grab this now rather than having to hunt and pack and look for it. And but thank you, Alberto. August 2011. So it's coming up on 14 years.
Yeah.
And of course, if it was published in 2011, August is probably, we'll say maybe January or February 2011 when it's, pen to paper type thing.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, we're coming up on almost 15 years. I remember distinctly, and I know the internet is a bad place. You never read the comments or whatever, but the sheer anger at people. I understand you're upset that Peter Parker died, but come on, man, nobody dies in comics forever. And they made it very clear, Ultimate Spider-Man is not Spider-Man, right? Like the normal Marvel 616 universe has all their characters. The reason they closed out Ultimates is because after several years, not to be mean, Bendis himself admitted it. He was sort of out of ideas of how to make the Ultimate Universe different. He wanted to move on to other things. So he came up with this idea, and Marvel approved it to, what would happen if the bad guys won? In this case, I don't remember exactly what it was, but they don't stop Magneto. And he pulls the magnetosphere, some other thing from the environment, and the Empire State Building's like underwater.
TJ, that's funny.
Yeah, if you like things, don't look them up on the internet.
You know what? That's actually a very, very, very good point.
It is. All right, so last one.
I found out there's a group on Reddit that bashes my favorite DC property ever, which is Kingdom Come. Mark Waid, Alex Ross. There is a group of hundreds of people on Reddit that I don't even know if it's still active, but somebody showed me screenshots, and they just bash it all day.
Listen,
and I'm like, okay, man. I wonder if there's one for like Crisis on Infinite Earths.
You can find anyone bashing any topic that you want.
On Reddit, there's an anti-South Jersey food scene group, right?
I did not, but I'm not
somebody screenshotted it.
There he is.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Well, was it Comcast?
Was it your laptop?
No, my power went out. My power just randomly went out for a few minutes, and it came back on. So
I'm glad you're all right. The first thing I asked is, is it like storms or something? I was,
No, that's why I was confused. It's like 80 degrees, sunny today. And my first thought was, did I forget to pay my utility bill?
You'd have to speak to the PCP accountant. Don't they handle that stuff? It's not Alex is writing bills.
All right. So
what I missed? I know I missed some stuff. So
we had a question which I thought you would be interested. We had a Spawn book, cover by Todd, which is essentially. Oh, I think here it is. Now, clearly, can you homage yourself?
Oh, Todd's been homaging himself for decades at this point. How many times has he drawn this? You know what I'm saying? He first did it. Well, what was it? Was it Spawn number? It wasn't. Was it 8? There's an early issue of Spawn that does the same pose or something.
8 or something where it's essentially.
Yeah, between his Spider-Man number 1 pose and his Spider-Man 300 pose, he's homaged that so many times. Yeah. This has got to be one of the most homaged comic book poses ever. Both of them, to be honest.
I'm picturing Todd bashing AI art, but he just keeps doing his own thing over and over again. Not that I'm supporting AI art, but Todd, I'm begging you. One new pose. Let me just see one. Although, in all fairness, Gunslinger Spawn has some pretty... He really leans heavily into the Western genre to get those sort of Clint Eastwood poses.
Yeah,
all right,
for sure.
So
it seems the real Robbie has been replaced by an imposter.
Call me Rob Headroom. That's what you.
Oh my God, that would be great. Channel 47.
All right, so last back issue book is Tomb of Dracula number 7.
Nice.
Is a 6.5, and we have this one for 15.
I feel like this is a Castle thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's not
actually.
doing right now.
I was going to say, isn't that like a Castle thing?
It's one of my favorite comic book series of all time, too. I love Tomb of Dracula.
If nobody buys this, we should shoot him a text or something the same way I do with like Ron sometimes and say, hey, man, you know, before this goes back in the vault, do you want this?
All right, let's do a quick Rex cap of the back issues.
Oh, no, we have some time.
Yeah. So we started with Secret War #1, the 5-part series. It's an 8.5, and we have that for 15.
I love this cover, man.
Is this a like a second printing or a incentive or something? Because it's a different cover than the one I know. It's because this one's like white.
I don't know.
This has to be. All I'm thinking of this.
I bet this is a second print or something. Which
oh yeah, that's true too. They might have done a second print, but because I did not remember Secret War having this cover either.
Yeah, because it's black and it's like it's Del Auto, right? And it's like
yeah. I was gonna say it's a Gabrielle.
The background is like black and the figure is painted. So this is probably like either an incentive or a second printing.
All right. Then we have Spawn number 316. It's a 9.4, and we have this one for 15.
That's such a cool cover.
All right. Then we have ROM #1. It's 7.0 to a 7.5, and we have this one for 15.
I got a question. They just came out with the Epic Collection, Volume 1 of ROM Space Knight. Is that stuff worth reading? Because I've never read it before.
I read it when it came out because of the toy thing. I mentioned this while you were gone. A guy I've known, comics guy I've known for years on Twitter. Now we talk on Blue Sky. He's the only person I ever met, or I should say the first person I met, that Ron was his favorite comic book, his favorite character of all time.
I think you mentioned this guy once.
Aaron something, I think his name. You know, nice guy collector. He's probably got 20 or 25 different copies. He keeps buying them when he finds them. Even he admits that some of the stories aren't as strong as they could be. Now, I guess, who is doing ROM now? Because
I don't think anybody's doing it right now. I know that Hasbro has the rights, I think, but they don't really want to do anything with it, and they're letting Marvel just reprint the old stuff.
See, because I could have thought there was some new ROM stuff a few years ago. Maybe I'm mistaken.
There was. That was at IDW when they were trying to kick off that Hasbro verse or whatever. They had Visionaries, Transformers, Joe, ROM, all of it, kind of Mask, all of it tied together.
And even the hardcore ROM fans admit that this run was very uneven. Some of those stories were better than others. And I guess, isn't that really true of anything, though?
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to say. Some of those epic collections are indeed epic. I guess when Marvel started doing, I guess, the reissues of the Dark Horse stuff for Aliens, I'll buy these again. I love that stuff so much. It was great. But, you know,
I'm interested in checking it out for sure. That and Micronauts. And I've heard Micronauts, especially the first like 10 or 12 issues, the stuff Michael Golden did was really, really good. So
Micronauts, I would say, is if there's an epic collection for Micronauts, I would probably get that one before ROM. Micronauts was some really good stuff. But to be fair, they had their sort of wonkiness too. But I liked Micronauts. I was very happy with that book. I found a very small collection. I don't think there was more than 50 or 60 books, and almost all of them were Micronauts. So I literally said to a guy at the show, how much for the box? He was packing up to leave. It was like the last day of a con.
Right.
He looks at the box. He opens it up. He's like, 20 for the whole box. And it wasn't even like, it wasn't even a short box. It was like one of those weird IKEA boxes that people use for comics when they can't find short boxes. You know, it had like the little flappy thing on it. It was like all one big piece or whatever. Picked it up, fine, took it out to the car. I think 2 issues from the ROM run were missing. And they weren't in the best of shape. You know, like I threw them in bags and boards, but I don't think anything was probably higher than a 5 or 5.5.
Right.
You could tell. But I was like, it was great. I mean, I picked up with the few books I had to pick up and the few books I had, I think I got the whole run for like $20-something. And it was.
All right. Then we had Man Thing number 1. It's 9.0. And we have this one for 25.
Very cool.
Hopefully we get some more Man Thing with on Disney Plus with Werewolf by Night.
All right. Then we have Hawkeye versus Deadpool. It's 9.2. And we have this for 20. Then we have Spawn number 327. It's 9.6, and we have this for 20. And then we have Spider-Man number 1. It's 9.4, and we have this for 25. And then, of course, Thundercats number 1, the Marvel original. It's a newsstand edition. It's 6.5, and we have it for 50. Easy. Easy. And then finally, Tomb of Dracula number 7. It's 6.5. And we have this for 15. Oh man, now I have the hiccups.
Dude, yeah, make a note somewhere to hit up Castle. I mean, Castle still has a half hour, so he might show up. But I mean, this is sort of his Werewolf by Night, Tomb of Dracula. He even likes other books too, like Tower of Night and all those.
Yeah, all that 70s horror stuff, right?
Marvel 70s horror is like.
You're right, I should.
Unknown 869 out there in the chat wants to know if they've ever done any collected volumes of the Marvel Thundercats. Actually, Dynamite just crowdfunded some. So
yeah, I was going to say that's
for the first time they've ever been collected, I believe. So
Dwayne's a pain. Look at that. So Dwayne is getting this for Castle.
Oh, Rom for
Robbie. Okay. Oh man, okay.
He's going to be Rob Space Knight. This is going to be the best.
All right. And Rom for
You're
Rob.
awesome, Dwayne. I guess I'll get to try out Rom. Thank you.
My Battle Cry days are done, man.
Gotcha.
Actually, I have to find it. I have like an extra copy of Tower of Night. A lot of times I just buy these things at cons. Like I get nostalgic and we're walking around and I'll just grab something or whatever. Usually because they're very cheap. If they're not in mint condition, you can grab like, Chamber of Chills for like $4 or $5. And I have, I think, 3 copies of one. And I was going to say, maybe I'll bring it. And the next time Castle buys something, just stick it in there.
Gotcha. All right. So, well, we're 1 minute away from the next break, the last break. So at this point, let's chit chat.
I was going to say, you can probably shoot over to what?
It's 7:30 now. Chat's over.
Okay.
Yeah, the chat's over.
It's 7:30 now. Chit chat's over.
On the break, go to Kickstarter and go find the Thundercats Marvel collection.
All right. So when we get back, we're going to do ratios, and then Thundercats number 14 comes out Wednesday.
Nice.
All right. So Jay, take us a break. We'll be right back. Hang out, and we'll get to the end. And do draw.
The limit is the sky with no glass ceiling. But if the shoe fits, feel free to walk up in it. You can catch me in the sky with no flight attendants, or either in the coupe, but the roof is not attended. I don't look back, I don't look back, I don't look back, I don't look back. I just go forward, I just go forward, I just go forward, I just go forward. I don't hear that, I don't hear that, I don't hear that, I don't hear that. I just ignore it, I just ignore it, I just ignore it, I just ignore it. Rap hitting, I button up Benjamin. I'm not like them, my cloth was cut different. For those that are listening, please know that I never backpedal, nah, never that. I don't look back, I don't look back, I don't look back, I don't look back. I just go forward, I just go forward, I just go forward, I just go forward. I don't hear that, I don't hear that, I don't hear that, I don't hear that. I just ignore it, I just ignore it, I just ignore it, I just ignore it. I don't look back, I don't look back.
Whoa. Whoa. Did you miss it? Yeah, they can go by pretty fast. Let's slow down the footage.
Welcome. It's time to skim some comics. Miles Morales Spider-Man, I will just tell you that Miles is very important in his role as a vampire. So
it's fine. If you like Hercules, read it. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. It's fine.
The art is still stunning. There's a panel, little spoiler, there's a panel in this where Chitauri first hits Lion-O, and he is the best "did she really just hit me" face I've ever seen put in a comic book.
Wow, live reviews of new comic books so you can be ready for New Comic Book Day. What is this? Oh, I see. It's Minute to Skim It. Part of the experience.
Twitch, it's not just what happens when you have too many energy drinks anymore. Check out our content over there too.
Hey guys, we're back. We're back.
Hey. All right, so
You don't have to carry the show. I'm reading Green Hornet.
shocker. All right, so the ratios that we have tonight are first up, Transformers number 19, 110 ratio by David Nakayama. And it's 9.4, and we have for $8 tonight.
Megatron is back and better than ever. Get in on it right now. This is a great cover, too, by a fan favorite artist.
All right, then we have Transformers number 19, 125 ratio by Steve Beach.
Nice.
We have this one for 10. It is also 9.4.
Megatron is back and better than ever. Get in on it right now with a fan favorite artist, Steve Beach.
So then we got Star Wars Jedi Knights number 2, 125 Pagulayan variant. It's 9.4, and we have this for $5.
The Jedi are back and better than ever. Seriously, though, I'm really liking this Jedi Knight series. Takes place before Phantom Menace, and it's the first Star Wars series from Marvel I've enjoyed in a few years.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Darth Vader, and then some of the stuff, there was like a little bit of a gap where I'm like, maybe this isn't for me, but I like this. This is very cool.
All right, then we have Amazing Spider-Man number 1, 1:50 ratio by Mimit Malavia. It's an 8.5 to a 9.0, and we have this for $20.
Super dope cover. Love this cover. I mean, what's not to love about this cover? It's Black Cat. It's got cats in it. It's got collars. It's everything you want.
You know what this looks like? This looks like an updated version.
Dwayne is claiming that. You got it, Dwayne.
Of Marvel Romance comics. Right? This
like almost like she's holding like a love letter from Peter Parker or something.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like someone decided to modernize a cover of like Young Love or whatever Marvel was publishing back then.
All right. Then we have Amazing Spider-Man number 1, 1:50 ratio. Hidden Gem by Gil Kane. It's 9.2, and we have this one for $15.
I think this Gil Kane guy is going to be somebody in this industry.
That's what I hear.
He might make it. I kind of like his chances.
All right. Then we have Amazing Spider-Man number 1, 1:25 ratio by Marquez. It's 9.4, and we have this one for $10.
Marquez, one of my favorite Marvel artists right now. He's killing it on Uncanny X-Men. This is a cool cover.
All right. So then, this is coming out Wednesday, Thundercats number 14.
Nice.
All right. Cover A by Lucho Perillo.
I was just looking at these on the break.
Cover price $4.99. Then we have cover B by Declan Shalvey. Also a cover price.
Love this cover. And by the way Declan's drawn Mumra, that dude is doing some back work. You know what I'm saying? He's doing it, man. He's doing the rows. He's doing everything, man.
Mumra has arrived from 1994. The way he's drawn.
All right.
Absolutely.
Then we have cover C. It's the Jay Lee variant. And we have this for $4.99 as well.
Oh man, I love this one. Jay Lee usually uses a lot of stark black and white.
Hey, Robert.
The way this one is, it's a little bit more whimsical. Like, that's really nice. And Jay, did you say absolute Mumra? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. That fits.
Yeah, I'd say that's 100% absolute Mumra.
All right. So Robert's in the house, and I know he is a big ratio guy. So let's go and just do that for him. Let's do a quick Rex cap of the ratios. All right.
So I heard this Megatron is back in a big way, and
he's back and better than ever.
All right. So Transformers number 19:110 ratio by David Nakayama. We have this for 8. Then Transformers number 19:125 ratio by Steve Beach. And we have that one for 10. Then we have Star Wars Jedi Knights number 2:125 ratio by Pagulayan. And we have that for 5. And then we got Amazing Spider-Man number 1:150 ratio, Hidden Gems, Gil Kane. And we have that for 15. And then we have Amazing Spider-Man number 1:125 ratio by Marquez. And we have that for 10. So there you go, Robert. Okay, now bouncing back to Thundercats, cover D by Felipe Massafera. And we have that at cover price.
Tigra is back and better than ever, and get in on the ground floor with the fan favorite artist.
All right, now we have cover E by
I'm positive
Mannix.
when Robbie came back, he was replaced by AI. Because it just seems to be like a sort of pattern to the... Nobody cares about Mannix. Nobody ever asks for this artist.
Yeah, not like Marcus asks
Nobody.
every time. All right. So then cover F, the Drew Moss action figure variant.
I love these.
And we have that at cover as well.
That Mannix cover actually is super cool. It's referencing the Temperance card from the Tarot. That's awesome.
Nice.
I didn't even notice that until like right before we flipped. Yeah, that's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Yes, you did, Alberto. He bought the cover for that, I believe.
Thundercats, an action thrill movie with a lot of laughs.
All right. Then we have cover G. It's the Perillo foil. And we have that at $9.99.
I was looking at that in the back room.
And then we have cover H. It's Perillo foil virgin. And we have that for $29.99.
I'll tell you what you're not going to be able to keep in stock.
What's
the
that?
foil version of Red Sonja and Army of Darkness.
So then we got cover I, the Mannix foil variant. And we have that for $9.99.
I really like this cover a lot.
And then cover J, Mannix foil version variant. And we had that for $29.99. Then we have cover L, the Perillo version variant, and we had that for $50. Then cover M, the 1:10 ratio by Drew Moss action figure for $10. Cover N, the 1:10 Jay Lee foil, and we had that for $10. Then cover O, the 1:10 ratio Perillo black and white, and we had that for $10. And then cover P, the Jay Lee foil version, and and we have that for 15. It is a 1-in-15 ratio. And then cover Q, 1-in-15 ratio Mannix version variant, and we have that for 15. Then we have cover R, the 120 Felipe Masfera version variant, and we have that for 20. Then we have cover S, the 120 Lucio Perillo black and white version variant, and we have that for 20.
What good does that do, Edward?
What? All right, then we have cover T. It's J. Lee version variant, 125 ratio. We have that for 25. Then cover U, the 125 Declan Shalvey version, and we have that for 25.
Absolute Mumra.
And then we
He's
have
here
cover...
to pump you up.
Yeah, look.
All right, and then
that
we
whole
have...
thing on his face should come off and be an axe.
All right, and then we have cover V, the Mark Spears variant. You have that at cover price. Cover W, the Mark Spears red variant.
This guy Spears has no following whatsoever. Just move along.
And we have that at cover price of $4.99. And then we have cover X, Mark Spears foil. And we have that at $9.99. Then cover Y, the Mark Spears foil version variant, and we have that for $29.99. Then cover Z, 1/7 Mark Spears purple variant, and we have that for $7. Then cover ZA, the 1/7 ratio Spears red background foil variant, and we have that for $7.
I like that.
You know, I don't want to peek behind the curtain too much, but I hope Mark's not fooling y'all. He's just drawing one image and just putting different colors on it. I hope you guys realize that.
This reminds me of when they did Invincible, and they kept using the same panel for the Defense Department.
All right, so then we got cover ZB, the 1/10 ratio Mark Spears purple version, foil version, and we have that for $10.
I feel like he got that monster pack of magic markers to color these. You know, where it's like 75 colors and you find it at the airport and the kids go nuts?
Marcus, I don't know, but I doubt it. All right, so then we got cover ZC, 1/10 ratio by Masafera. It's a foil variant.
Do you know how, like, all these kids in the 80s during the ninja craze, the karate craze, right, in the movies, we would get nunchucks. And we would inevitably like hurt ourselves. That's what it looks like Tiger's doing to himself right here, doesn't it? It looks like he's like, what? And doesn't even realize what's about to happen.
All right. And then we have
going to be in the Sundara dentist office. You're not going to be happy, my man.
All right. And then we have covered ZD, the 1/10 Mark Spears Virgin variant. Have that for $10. And then cover ZE, the 1/15 Masafera foil Virgin. And we had that for $15. All right. Let us do a quick Rex cap. That should bring us to the end. All right. So here we go. So the giveaway of the night, if you haven't gotten in and you want to, is Vampirella number 25, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. Hashtag is EXP Monday, all lowercase. All right, Dynamite 10-pack, a reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, $3.99 cover price or higher, $40 retail value, and as always, we have for $5. Then we have the DF Mystery Box, 2 CGC 9.8s, 1 Virgin, 1 signed, and 1 exclusive, and 10 back issues. Suggested retail of $200, and we have for $85. Then buyer buddy, Thundercats W and ZA. You got it, Becky. All right, ZA, Becky. And we have W. All right. Gotcha, Becky. All right. So then we buyer buddy CJ. Green Lantern 80th anniversary with Green Lanterns, cover sketch by CJ. And we have that for $65.
I like this a lot.
And then Panther #1 cover sketch by CJ. And we have that for $65 as well. Then final one by CJ for the night, Empire the Dam with Red Sonja cover sketch by CJ. And we have that for $65 as well.
See, this is really nice work, man. This is very nice work.
Then we have Space Ghost #1 connecting cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail $199.99, and we have it tonight for $99. Then we have Punisher cover sketch by Dan Neilinger and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $149.99, and we have that for $65. Then Amazing Spider-Man Blood Hunt with Spidey cover sketch Carousel. Suggested retail of $149.99, and we have for $65. Then we have Secret War #1 5-part series. It's an 8.5, and we have that for $15. Then we had Spawn #316. It's 9.4, and we have that for $15. Then we have Man Thing #1. It's a 9.0, and we have that for $25. Then we have Hawkeye vs. Deadpool. It's 9.2, and we have that for $20. Then we have Spawn #327. It's 9.6, and we have that for $20. Then we have Spider-Man #1. It's 9.4, and we have this for $25. Then we have Thundercats #1 Marvel. It's a newsstand edition, 6.5, and we have that for $50. Then we have Transformers #19 110 ratio by David Nakayama. It's 9.4, and we have for $8. Then we have Transformers #19 125 ratio by Steve Beach, and we have that for $10. Then we have Star Wars Jedi Knights #2 125 ratio by Pagulayan, and we have that for $5. Then we have Amazing Spider-Man #1 1:50 ratio Hidden Gem by Gil Kane, and we have that for $15. And then we have Amazing Spider-Man #1 125 ratio by Marquez, and we have that for $10. Then we have Thundercats #14 cover A by Lucho Perillo, and we have that for cover price. Cover B by Declan Shalvey, also a cover. Cover C by Jay Lee, and you have that at cover. Cover D by Felipe Masfera, and we have that at cover price. Then we have cover E by Mannix, also a cover. Then we have cover F, Drew Moss action figure, also a cover. Cover G by Lucho Perillo, it's a foil, have that for $9.99. Then cover H, the Perillo foil Virgin for $29.99. Then cover I, the Mannix foil variant, we have that for $9.99. Then cover J, the Mannix foil version, and we have that for $29.99. Then cover L by Perillo, the version variant, had that for $50. Then cover N, the Drew Moss action figure version, had that for $10. Cover N 1:10 ratio J Lee foil variant, have that for $10. Cover O 1:10 ratio by Perillo black and white variant, have that for $10. Cover P 1:15 ratio by J Lee foil version for $15. Cover Q 1:15 Mannix version variant, have that for $15. Cover R 1:20 ratio by Masfera version for $20. Cover S Lucho Perillo black and white version, we have that for $20. Then cover T 1:25 ratio J Lee version for $25. Then cover U 1:25 Declan Shalvey version, and you got that for $25. Then cover V Mark Spears variant, have that at cover price. Then cover W Mark Spears red variant, have that for $4.99. Then cover X, Mark Spears foil, and have that for $9.99. Then cover Y, Mark Spears foil virgin, and have that for $29.99. Cover Z, 1/7 Mark Spears purple background for $7. It's a 1/7 ratio, and have that for $7. Cover ZA, 1/7 Mark Spears red background foil, have that for $7. Cover ZB, 110 Mark Spears purple background foil version, have that for $10. Cover ZC, the Masfera foil variant, have that for $10. ZD, the 110 ratio Mark Spears version, had that for $10. Then ZE, the 1:15 ratio by Masfera foil version, and have that for $15. And those are our books. All right, so let's see. So yeah, CJ, send me whatever you want, bud. Be happy to throw it on there. So you let me know, bud. All right, so
John, I want to know real quick before we're getting out of here. I asked the chat, but I want to know what you think, John. Does Cena beat Cody Rhodes, or does Cody win?
Oh, if Cena doesn't win, they're missing a huge opportunity, because Cena wins and turns around and tells Cody, "That's how you finish a story, son," and he turns around and he walks away. It's like the "I bet you see me now" moment, right? I mean, he started his career as a heel, kind of. Well, he got over as a heel. He kind of goes out that way. It's a new story for Cody. You know what I mean? I think Cody winning it's almost like lazy storytelling. Like, Cody's as over as he's ever going to be. He doesn't need anyone else putting him over.
He's super over, so you got to take it away from him, let him do some program somewhere else, and then come back and win it again. But what I think is, why did you turn Cena heel if he ain't going to win? And then I think this is all set up. I think CM Punk is going to win the triple threat. I think it's all set up. I think SummerSlam is going to be CM Punk and John Cena, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes booking sense. Cody at this point, you know who Cody should be rolling with coming out of WrestleMania? Somebody like Jacob Fatu. You know what I mean? That's like how you elevate someone.
Yeah, they really need to elevate Jacob too. But anyway.
Well, that's what I meant. This is Cody sort of giving back, and he elevates Jacob. I mean, Jacob Fatu is rolling with LA Knight. And the truth is, I've liked him when he was Eli Drake. At first I didn't dig the LA Knight name, but he got that over, which is fine. I hate to say it, because I went to see Sean Ricker at indie shows. That's his real name, Rockin' Ricker, or whatever he called himself. He's mid-card for life. Jacob Fatu being in a program with him after all the sort of, tribal stuff, I'll say, is at best it's a lateral move, and in my opinion, that's sort of like you're punishing the guy. Like, why are you making him carry LA Knight? All right, you want to push Jacob into the main event. That guy's athletic ability is off the charts for like a big dude.
So let's do the spin the wheel, Jay, if you would.
Yeah, I was just showing Mr. Ego Lucky CJ's covers real fast.
But yeah, Robbie, if Cena doesn't win, I riot. You know what I mean? I've got no interest in,
That'd be weak storytelling if he loses.
It would be weak storytelling, because, like you said, why did Cena turn heel? Why don't you just have him move along?
All right.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
And the
winner is John Cena. What? Hey!
Design, yes.
Well deserved.
All right.
Well deserved, man. He watches the show. He contributes content to the show. I mean, at this point, next week he'll be sitting next to you.
That works out. I think it's CJ's birthday. So if it is, happy birthday, CJ.
Happy birthday.
All right.
Jay, what do we have after this? Let's make sure we only got a couple of minutes. Let's make sure we get all the.
So after this at 8:00, make sure I already put the link in the chat. Check out PCP Movie Night. It's the Flintstones. I told Robbie before, this one gets 5 yabba dabba digs from me. I love this movie. I'm so glad Jelani doesn't, because I'll have to watch the rewind. Because also at 8:00, keep another tab open. We're going to be doing a sales show on the experience with Kyle. So that's also happening at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. After that, come back, and I've already put this link in the chat as well. At 11 Eastern, 10 Central for Best Coast Comics, they're going to be talking about character redesigns.
Oh,
I love that. I love that 90s Thor, man.
Oh, man.
That book was all muscle, legs, and hair, man. I love
it.
Two of my favorite redesigns recently, and I don't want to spoil it, but they're in the Absolute Flash book. There's 2 characters in that book. I love the designs of them.
I bet one of them's Captain Cold.
Yeah, 100%.
Word.
He's never looked so awesome, man.
Yeah, he looked cool.
I love that design.
I haven't seen it. Is there an absolute Green Lantern? And if there is, instead of one ring, is it like a 4-finger ring with like spikes coming out of it?
No, an absolute Green Lantern. Joe Sojourner gets the green ring.
I did not see your post.
Hal gets the black hand. Dun dun dun.
Very cool. Maybe I will check that out.
All right, so we'll be back. I'll be back on Wednesday. Of course, Nick will be back with original art on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Other than that, we'll be back Monday. Robbie and I, and hopefully John.
And we'll see. No.
Other than that,
it depends on if Cena wins or not. Because
I was going to say we got to see what happens on Sunday to see if I'm here on Monday.
So we're giving the giveaway to Lorena.
Dude, I'll be here Sunday night pirating the show if Cena wins. Screaming into the void. I bet you see him now.
Yeah, be sure to check out our after show next week here on the EXP.
So, all right. As always, we appreciate you guys. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, John. And I'll see everyone on Wednesday.
Have a good night, everybody.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.